For many men, the topic of testosterone rarely comes to mind until something begins to feel different. Perhaps energy levels start dipping earlier in the day, workouts feel harder than they used to, or mental clarity seems less sharp. Some notice subtle changes in body composition, like losing muscle more easily or gaining weight around the abdomen despite maintaining the same habits. Others experience shifts in mood, motivation, or sexual drive. These changes can appear gradually, often creeping in quietly over years, which makes them easy to dismiss as a normal part of aging. Yet the hormone testosterone plays a far more important role in male health than many people realize. While it is widely associated with sexual function and physical strength, its influence extends throughout the entire body. Testosterone supports muscle maintenance, bone density, metabolism, red blood cell production, cognitive focus, and emotional well-being. When levels decline significantly, the effects can ripple across multiple systems, affecting both quality of life and long-term health. One reason the conversation around testosterone has become more prominent in recent years is the growing awareness that low levels are relatively common among middle-aged and older men. Research suggests that by the time men reach their mid-40s, a substantial proportion may already have testosterone levels lower than what is considered optimal. As age increases, the likelihood continues to rise. By the time men reach their 80s, nearly half may experience some degree of hormonal deficiency. This trend matters not only because of how it influences daily energy or sexual health, but also because low testosterone has been associated with broader medical concerns. Studies have linked it to increased risks of metabolic diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular problems, including heart disease, and even reduced bone strength that can lead to fractures later in life. In some analyses, men with significantly reduced testosterone levels were also found to have a higher overall risk of mortality compared with those whose hormone levels remained within healthy ranges. These findings can sound alarming at first, but they also highlight something important. Testosterone levels are not determined solely by age. Lifestyle choices, sleep patterns, diet, stress levels, and physical activity all play a meaningful role in shaping hormonal health. In many cases, everyday habits can either support or undermine the body's ability to produce and maintain adequate testosterone. In clinical practice, it is common to meet patients who feel puzzled by their symptoms. A man might explain that he is exercising regularly but still feels unusually fatigued, or that his motivation and focus have gradually declined. Others may notice changes in their sexual interest or struggle with maintaining muscle mass despite maintaining their workout routines. These experiences often prompt them to ask whether something deeper might be affecting their health. Sometimes laboratory testing reveals that testosterone levels are indeed lower than expected for their age. In other situations, the hormone levels may fall within a technically normal range, but still be influenced by lifestyle factors that suppress optimal function. Either way, these conversations often lead to an important realization: many aspects of hormonal health are connected to everyday behaviors. Take diet as an example. The modern food environment is filled with products that are convenient and flavorful, but heavily processed. These foods often contain refined sugars, highly processed grains, and unhealthy fats that can disrupt the body's metabolic balance. Over time, frequent consumption of such foods contributes to weight gain, blood sugar instability, and inflammation, conditions that can interfere with normal hormone production. When the body experiences chronic metabolic stress, it begins to prioritize survival processes over hormone optimization. Fat tissue, especially around the abdomen, can convert testosterone into other hormones, reducing the amount circulating in the bloodstream. This process means that carrying excess weight may directly influence testosterone levels. The relationship between metabolism and hormones works both ways. Low testosterone can make it easier to gain weight and harder to maintain muscle, while excess weight can suppress testosterone further. This feedback loop explains why addressing lifestyle habits early can have powerful effects on long-term health. Another factor that frequently goes overlooked is sleep. In today's fast-paced world, many adults treat sleep as optional rather than essential. Work demands, screen time, and busy schedules often lead people to sacrifice rest without realizing how deeply it affects hormone balance. Testosterone production follows a natural rhythm tied closely to sleep cycles, particularly the deeper stages of rest that occur during the night. When sleep becomes shorter or more fragmented, the body may not complete these hormonal processes efficiently. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation can lead to measurable declines in testosterone levels. Even small reductions in nightly sleep have been associated with noticeable hormonal changes. Sleep disorders can further complicate the picture. One condition that commonly affects middle-aged men is obstructive sleep apnea. In this disorder, breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep due to temporary airway blockage. These interruptions reduce oxygen levels and disrupt the normal sleep architecture needed for hormone regulation. Men with untreated sleep apnea often report fatigue, morning headaches, and loud snoring, but many are unaware that the condition may also influence testosterone. Beyond sleep and diet, the body's response to physical activity also plays a role in hormone balance. Exercise is widely recognized as beneficial for overall health, but the type and intensity of exercise matter. While long endurance workouts support cardiovascular fitness, relying exclusively on extended high-intensity cardio may elevate stress hormones when performed excessively. These stress hormones can interfere with testosterone production if the body remains in a constant state of physical strain. By contrast, resistance training that engages large muscle groups stimulates a different hormonal response. Lifting weights, performing compound movements, and challenging major muscle groups signal the body to maintain and build muscle tissue. This process encourages the production of anabolic hormones, including testosterone. Stress itself is another critical element in the hormonal equation. Modern life exposes people to continuous sources of mental and emotional strain. Long working hours, financial pressure, family responsibilities, and constant digital stimulation can all activate the body's stress response. When this response remains active for prolonged periods, the hormone cortisol stays elevated. Cortisol and testosterone often move in opposite directions, meaning chronic stress can suppress testosterone production. Environmental exposures may also influence hormonal health. Certain chemicals used in plastics and packaging materials have been identified as endocrine disruptors, meaning they can interfere with the body's hormone systems. These substances may mimic or block natural hormones, potentially altering how the body regulates testosterone. Taken together, these factors reveal a powerful message: hormonal health is deeply connected to daily choices. While aging does influence testosterone levels to some degree, the way a person eats, sleeps, exercises, and manages stress can significantly affect how the body maintains hormonal balance over time. Understanding these relationships provides a starting point for anyone who wants to support their health naturally. Rather than focusing only on medications or quick fixes, many physicians now emphasize lifestyle strategies that help the body function as it was designed to. In the next chapter, we will explore the scientific evidence behind these lifestyle factors and examine how specific habits can either protect or undermine testosterone levels throughout adulthood. Once men begin to understand that testosterone levels are closely tied to everyday habits, the next step is exploring the specific biological mechanisms behind these relationships. Hormones do not operate in isolation. They are part of an intricate network of signals that connect the brain, endocrine glands, muscles, fat tissue, and even the immune system. Because of this interconnected system, changes in diet, sleep, stress, and activity can all influence how the body regulates testosterone production. The process begins in the brain. A small structure called the hypothalamus monitors signals from throughout the body and releases hormones that tell the pituitary gland to stimulate testosterone production in the testes. This process is part of what doctors call the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, a regulatory loop that carefully adjusts hormone levels based on the body's needs. If the brain senses signals indicating stress, illness, or metabolic imbalance, it may reduce the signals that stimulate testosterone production. One of the strongest signals affecting this system is metabolic health. Diets that rely heavily on refined carbohydrates, sugary beverages, and ultra-processed foods can disrupt the body's ability to manage blood sugar effectively. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly throughout the day, insulin levels also rise. Over time, this pattern can lead to insulin resistance, a condition in which the body becomes less responsive to insulin signals. Insulin resistance does more than increase the risk of diabetes. It also affects how the body stores fat and regulates hormones. Fat tissue, particularly around the abdomen, is metabolically active. It produces enzymes that convert testosterone into estrogen-like hormones. As fat accumulation increases, more testosterone may be converted away from its active form, reducing the amount circulating in the bloodstream. This metabolic shift helps explain why excess body weight is frequently associated with lower testosterone levels. In clinical studies, men who lose weight often experience measurable improvements in hormone levels. Even moderate reductions in body weight can make a difference. Losing approximately 10% of body mass has been shown in some research to raise testosterone significantly, illustrating how closely hormone health is tied to metabolic balance. Sleep also plays a surprisingly powerful role in hormone regulation. Testosterone is produced in pulses throughout the day, but a large portion of this production occurs during deep sleep. The body cycles through several stages of sleep each night, and the deeper stages are especially important for hormone release and tissue repair. When sleep becomes shorter or fragmented, these hormonal pulses may be disrupted. Studies have shown that reducing nightly sleep from 8 hours to 5 hours for even a short period can lead to noticeable declines in testosterone levels. The reason lies in the body's circadian rhythm, an internal clock that coordinates hormone release with periods of rest and activity. Modern lifestyles often interfere with this rhythm. Late night screen exposure, irregular sleep schedules, and chronic sleep deprivation can confuse the body's internal signals. Over time, these disruptions can affect not only testosterone, but also other hormones involved in appetite, metabolism, and stress regulation. Sleep apnea adds another layer of complexity. This condition, characterized by repeated pauses in breathing during sleep, is more common among men with larger neck circumferences or excess weight. Each time breathing briefly stops, oxygen levels fall, and the brain partially awakens to restore breathing. These repeated interruptions prevent the body from entering the deeper sleep stages needed for hormone production. Men with untreated sleep apnea frequently experience fatigue, headaches, and reduced concentration during the day. However, the condition can also suppress testosterone levels over time. Treating sleep apnea, often through the use of devices that maintain open airways during sleep, has been shown in some studies to improve hormonal balance as sleep quality improves. Exercise provides another key signal that influences hormone production. Physical activity stimulates multiple biological pathways that support metabolic health, muscle maintenance, and cardiovascular function. However, the type of exercise matters. Endurance activities such as long-distance running or cycling are excellent for heart health, but can sometimes elevate cortisol when performed excessively without adequate recovery. Cortisol is the body's primary stress hormone. In short bursts, it helps mobilize energy and sharpen focus. When cortisol remains elevated for extended periods, however, it can suppress testosterone production. This does not mean endurance exercise is harmful, but it highlights the importance of balance in training routines. Resistance training offers a complementary form of exercise that tends to stimulate testosterone more directly. When large muscle groups are challenged through movements like squats, presses, or deadlifts, the body responds by releasing anabolic hormones that support muscle repair and growth. These hormonal responses signal the body that strength and muscle mass are needed, encouraging testosterone production. Intensity also matters in resistance training. Lifting weights that challenge the muscles stimulate stronger hormonal signals than very light resistance. Of course, safety and proper technique remain essential. Gradually increasing resistance under appropriate supervision helps ensure that exercise strengthens the body rather than causing injury. Stress management represents another piece of the hormonal puzzle. When the brain perceives ongoing psychological stress, it activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which increases cortisol production. As cortisol rises, testosterone production often declines. This relationship reflects the body's prioritization of immediate survival over reproductive and anabolic functions. Men experiencing chronic work stress, long commutes, financial pressures, or demanding schedules may therefore see hormonal effects even if they maintain otherwise healthy habits. High-stress professions have sometimes been associated with lower testosterone levels compared with less stressful roles, illustrating how emotional and environmental factors influence physiology. Environmental exposures can also subtly affect hormone systems. Certain industrial chemicals found in plastics, packaging materials, and consumer products are known to interact with the endocrine system. Some of these substances mimic hormones in the body or interfere with hormone receptors. While research is ongoing, reducing exposure to these chemicals, such as avoiding heating food in plastic containers, can help limit potential hormonal disruptions. Nutrition provides another key component of hormone regulation. Many people attempting to lose weight dramatically reduce dietary fat intake, assuming that lower fat automatically leads to better health. However, the body uses dietary fats as building blocks for hormone production, including testosterone. Diets that are extremely low in fat may therefore reduce the availability of materials needed for normal hormone synthesis. Healthy fats from foods such as olive oil, nuts, seeds, fish, and eggs provide essential nutrients that support hormone balance. Balanced dietary patterns, such as those emphasizing vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats, have been associated with improved metabolic and hormonal health. Taken together, these biological relationships reveal how deeply lifestyle habits influence testosterone levels. Hormone production reflects the body's overall state of balance. When sleep is restorative, nutrition supports metabolic stability, stress remains manageable, and exercise stimulates muscle growth, the hormonal system tends to function more efficiently. In the next chapter, we will explore how men can translate these scientific insights into practical daily habits. By focusing on manageable changes such as improving sleep routines, adjusting exercise patterns, and creating healthier nutritional habits, many individuals can support their hormone levels naturally while improving overall health and vitality. Understanding the science behind testosterone is helpful, but what most people really want to know is how to apply that knowledge in daily life. Hormones may seem like complicated biochemical messengers, yet the habits that influence them are surprisingly practical. When men make consistent adjustments in how they eat, sleep, move, and manage stress, they often discover that their bodies respond in ways that improve not only testosterone levels but also overall well-being. One of the most powerful starting points is nutrition. Food acts as the body's primary source of raw materials for hormone production, muscle repair, and energy regulation. Diets built around whole foods tend to support these processes far more effectively than those dominated by highly processed snacks and packaged meals. Processed foods are often engineered to be extremely appealing in taste and texture, which makes it easy to consume them in excess. Unfortunately, they frequently contain refined sugars, low-quality fats, and additives that can disrupt metabolic balance. When the body repeatedly experiences large swings in blood sugar, it must produce more insulin to bring those levels back down. Over time, this pattern can lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, and increased fat accumulation around the abdomen. Because abdominal fat actively converts testosterone into other hormones, reducing reliance on ultra-processed foods becomes an important step in protecting hormonal health. A more supportive approach involves focusing on nutrient-dense foods that stabilize blood sugar and nourish the body's endocrine system. Meals that include vegetables, fruits, lean protein sources, whole grains, and healthy fats provide the vitamins and minerals required for hormone synthesis. Foods such as fish, eggs, poultry, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and legumes not only supply energy, but also deliver essential fatty acids and micronutrients that help maintain metabolic stability. Maintaining a healthy body weight also plays a significant role. Many men notice that as body fat decreases and muscle mass increases, their energy levels improve along with hormonal markers. This does not require extreme dieting. In fact, overly restrictive diets can sometimes backfire by slowing metabolism or depriving the body of necessary nutrients. Sustainable weight management usually involves balanced eating patterns combined with consistent physical activity. Exercise deserves special attention because of its powerful effect on hormone signaling. While all forms of movement are beneficial for general health, certain types of exercise appear particularly helpful for supporting testosterone production. Resistance training, which involves challenging muscles with weights or body weight exercises, stimulates the release of anabolic hormones that help maintain muscle mass and bone density. Movements that recruit large muscle groups, such as squats, lunges, presses, and pulling exercises, are especially effective because they place greater demand on the body. This demand signals that muscle tissue is needed, prompting hormonal responses that support strength and recovery. Incorporating these types of exercises several times per week can make a meaningful difference in both physical performance and metabolic health. Cardiovascular exercise also remains important, but balance is key. Activities like running, cycling, or swimming strengthen the heart and improve endurance. However, when performed excessively without adequate recovery, intense endurance training can elevate stress hormones for prolonged periods. The most beneficial routine usually combines moderate cardio with resistance training, allowing the body to reap the benefits of both without overwhelming its stress response. Sleep is another pillar that strongly influences hormone balance. Many adults underestimate how much sleep their bodies require. Testosterone production peaks during the deeper stages of sleep, which means that consistently cutting sleep short may interfere with the body's natural hormonal rhythms. Over time, sleep deprivation can contribute to fatigue, reduced concentration, mood changes, and diminished physical performance. Improving sleep quality often begins with simple adjustments. Maintaining a consistent bedtime, limiting exposure to bright screens late at night, and creating a dark, quiet sleeping environment can help regulate the body's internal clock. Even small improvements in sleep duration can support the hormonal processes that occur overnight. For individuals who suspect they may have sleep apnea, especially those who snore loudly or feel exhausted despite spending enough time in bed, seeking medical evaluation can be extremely valuable. Treating sleep apnea not only improves energy levels, but may also help restore healthier hormone patterns. Stress management represents another important factor in maintaining testosterone levels. The body is designed to handle short bursts of stress, but prolonged exposure to pressure or anxiety can shift the hormonal environment in ways that suppress testosterone. Modern lifestyles often involve constant stimulation, tight schedules, and limited opportunities to relax, making stress reduction an intentional practice rather than something that happens automatically. Different people find relief through different methods. Some benefit from physical activities like walking, yoga, or recreational sports. Others find calm through meditation, breathing exercises, creative hobbies, or spending time in nature. The specific activity matters less than the consistency of allowing the nervous system to transition from constant alertness into periods of recovery. Environmental awareness can also play a subtle but meaningful role in protecting hormonal health. Many everyday products contain chemicals that may interact with the endocrine system. While it is impossible to eliminate all exposures, simple choices, such as using glass or stainless steel containers for food storage and avoiding heating food in plastic, can reduce contact with certain compounds known to disrupt hormone signaling. Another frequently overlooked aspect of hormonal health is the role of dietary fats. During weight loss efforts, some individuals dramatically reduce fat intake in the belief that doing so will accelerate progress. However, fats serve as essential building blocks for many hormones, including testosterone. Diets that eliminate healthy fats entirely may deprive the body of the nutrients required for hormone production. Incorporating moderate amounts of healthy fats from sources such as olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, and avocados helps maintain hormonal balance while supporting heart and brain health. Balanced nutrition does not require eliminating entire food groups, but rather choosing quality ingredients that nourish the body. Perhaps the most encouraging message for men concerned about testosterone is that many influencing factors lie within their control. While aging inevitably brings certain changes, lifestyle habits can significantly shape how those changes unfold. Men who prioritize sleep, maintain active lifestyles, nourish their bodies with balanced diets, and manage stress effectively often experience better energy, stronger muscles, improved mood, and healthier hormone levels. It is also important to remember that hormonal health exists within the broader context of overall well-being. The same habits that support testosterone also protect the heart, regulate blood sugar, strengthen bones, and enhance mental clarity. Rather than viewing these adjustments as restrictions, they can be seen as investments in long-term vitality. Patients who adopt these habits frequently report that improvements appear gradually but steadily, energy becomes more consistent, workouts feel more productive, and concentration improves. Relationships may benefit as well, since confidence and physical well-being often influence emotional connection. Ultimately, maintaining healthy testosterone levels is not about chasing perfection or reversing the aging process. It is about giving the body the conditions it needs to function at its best. When men approach their health with curiosity and commitment, focusing on sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress management, and environmental awareness, they empower themselves to protect both hormonal balance and overall quality of life. In that sense, the path to healthier testosterone levels is the same path that supports a healthier life. By caring for the body with consistent habits and informed choices, men can sustain energy, resilience, and well-being for many years to come.